The seventh principle, gender. Imagine a tiny seed. It seems inert, almost insignificant, until it's placed in the soil. And then something extraordinary happens. The seed, carrying within it the masculine principle of potentiality, meets the fertile soil, the feminine principle of nourishment and receptivity. Together they begin a process that turns something simple into a majestic tree full of life and purpose. This is a perfect image of the seventh and final Hermetic principle, the law of gender. Just like the seed and the soil, everything in the universe, including your mind and your spirit, depends on the interaction and balance of masculine and feminine energies to create, to transform, and to manifest. This law transcends the ordinary notion of male and female. It points to a universal dynamic of complementary forces woven through all of creation. At its core, this law teaches that everything in the universe contains two complementary principles, the masculine and the feminine. These are not biological or social categories. They are archetypal forces that shape the workings of all existence. The masculine is active, expansive, projective energy. The creative impulse, the initiating will, the spark that sets movement in motion, like a ray of sunlight touching the earth, without which nothing could germinate. The feminine is receptive, nurturing, generative energy, the fertile soil that transforms a seed into a tree, embodying introspection, intuition, and the power to create from within. They are not opponents. They are two halves of one whole. And together they create universal harmony. And this is the essential point. Masculine energy does not belong only to men, nor feminine energy only to women. Both forces live within every being in constant interplay. The masculine is the active principle. Movement, logic, direction, creative force. It is the spark that turns potential into reality. Without it, there is no action. And without action, no creation. But like every universal force, it requires balance. In harmony, it is a flowing stream that moves mountains and fertilizes the land. Out of balance, it becomes a destructive flood. It is symbolized by the sun, the sword, the lightning bolt, bringing discernment, reason, clarity, the drive to overcome obstacles, and stay aimed at a goal like an arrow at its target. Jung saw it in the archetypes of the warrior, with his courage and discipline, the king, with his leadership and integrity, the magician who turns knowledge into power, and the lover who directs passion into meaningful connection. But watch what happens when the masculine loses its balance. In excess, the individual seeks to dominate everything and everyone, certain their vision is the only correct one. This authoritarianism turns rigid, suffocating relationships and blocking creativity. Competition becomes an addiction. Everything, a battle to prove superiority, turning allies into rivals and breeding isolation. Logic seizes full control and silences all emotion, leaving a strange emptiness, a sense of fighting the world without knowing why. And in deficiency, the opposite. The potential exists, but the force to realize it is gone. Decisions are delayed, responsibilities avoided, and days drift by without purpose, like a boat without a rudder. There is insecurity, passivity, dependence on others to choose. The person becomes a spectator in their own life, fragile before challenges that the balanced masculine would meet with courage. Cultivated in balance, the masculine is the fire that warms and transforms, guiding with courage, clarity, and purpose. To develop it is an act of self-love, a recognition of the divine power within. The feminine is the receptive, fluid, intuitive side of all things. It lives in feeling, in delicacy, in intuition and attention to detail, in insight, receptivity, ancestral wisdom, compassion, patience, and creativity. While the masculine is an arrow moving forward, the feminine is the space that embraces the arrow, transforms it, and gives its motion meaning. In Hermeticism, it is called the passive principle. But passive here does not mean inert. It means receptive, the power to absorb, to nurture, to transform. It is the mystery, the intuition that connects us to the invisible, the force that lets us understand without words and create from nothing. Its clearest image in nature is the lunar cycle, the moon waxing and waning, symbolizing fluidity, receptivity, and transformation, governing the tides and the deeper cycles of life. Jung mapped its archetypes too: the mother, nurturer, and protector, source of life; the maiden, youth and potential, and the beginning of new cycles; the wise woman, holding the deep knowledge that guides and illuminates; and the queen, who unites the power to lead with the heart to nurture. And the feminine, too, falls out of balance. In excess, we lose our center and are flooded by emotion, with no structure to meet challenges, small problems amplified, feelings drowning us, boundaries dissolving until we cannot say no, and everything and everyone floods in, leading to overload and a sense of being trapped by circumstance. In deficiency, we lose our connection to intuition and to our creative, nurturing essence. It becomes hard to listen to ourselves or feel what others feel. Ideas stop arising. The inner world turns barren. Empathy fades and we grow distant and cold. But balanced, the feminine brings deep empathy, genuine listening, reconnection with intuition, and the power to generate life and create from nothing, like the earth herself, generating and nourishing. Its true power lies precisely in its softness, the ability to perceive and transform the world from within. This law reaches beyond humanity into the entire cosmos, across all three planes: physical, mental, and spiritual. In the plant kingdom, pollen, masculine, is carried to the ovary of the flower, feminine, and from that union come fruit and seed. Among animals, the mating dance repeats the pattern: active pursuit and receptive choice, ensuring the continuation of life. In the great theater of existence, the masculine directs the energy, acting as the initial force that awakens the creative potential of the feminine. But it is the feminine that performs the act of creation itself, the matrix that transforms impulse into form and gives life to what was only possibility. And neither can act alone. The masculine, however powerful, can produce nothing without the receptive feminine. The feminine, however fertile, lacks the initiating spark without the masculine. This is why, in all of organic life, we find the masculine within the feminine and the feminine within the masculine, like yin and yang, dancing in eternal harmony. Within every human being, there is a sun and a moon, a king and a queen. When the two dance in harmony, the soul blossoms. The balance of these energies within you is the secret to true harmony, creating a magnetic field capable of drawing what you desire toward you. The ancient alchemists called this union the alchemical marriage, the fusion of the active masculine and receptive feminine into a whole, awakened being. It is not merely a metaphor, it is a spiritual and psychological practice, the integration of your inner opposites. Masculine energy as logic, action, and focus. Feminine energy as intuition, receptivity, and creativity. Together, they form the perfect unity, like yin and yang, where each force already contains a seed of the other. Before you can balance them, you must recognize which one currently dominates your life.